Hey, what's up, Blankety Ache? All right, so time to do another video. Bring this back around again. Dear Blake, what's going on? Good to talk to you, and good to hear from you when you send me a video back. But today, my video today, what I wanted to talk about today was satellite internet. So this is stuff that I love. Starlink is SpaceX's satellite internet company. OneWeb is funded by SoftBank and some other people. And then Jeff Bezos is doing, Amazon has another satellite company that they're going to do it. So those are the big players. And but let's talk about it. So satellite internet, what is it? So what it is satellites that are orbiting the Earth all around it. Starlink is going to have like 4,000 of them. OneWeb is going to have like 800 of them. And depending on where they are in the, wait, let me get something. Boom. The Earth. So the satellites will be orbiting all around the Earth. And what they'll do is, let's say we are, where are we? America, United States of America. We will have satellites, and multiple of them, hovering over America, and what they'll do is they'll rotate with the planet. So as the planet rotates, they'll rotate with it, and they'll beam down internet from above. Beam down internet, and then you can upload internet to the satellite itself. So you're kind of going same as like Ethernet, where you're downloading and uploading content all the time. So the reason why they can do this is because now they have the technology to hover over the Earth and upload faster. So that was one of the major hurdles. I mean, people wanted to do this 20 years ago for sure, but uploading onto a satellite was very difficult because you had to have like a huge dish or something like that. But now Starlink and the other ones think that they can do it with smaller devices. Starlink actually has a prototype out that is just a mini dish that goes in your home, and you can just upload from there. It also has a receiver, of course, as well. So that's what we'll do, and then we'll have satellites all over. Now, the other thing is how close or how far away you are from the planet matters. Because if you're this far, it's going to take longer to download and upload than if you're really close. But this is the catch. If you're this far, then the satellite can beam down all this area, like a cone. It can go all this area that my hand's at. But if you're really close, you can only have this area that you can beam down internet. So farther out, you can cover more surface area of the Earth. Closer in, you have faster internet uploads and downloads. So it's a conundrum. So how many satellites do you think you can put around orbit? Well, that's expensive to send all these satellites up to space, to rocket them up there. Also expensive to build them. Well, OneWeb and Starlink are doing them differently. OneWeb is going less satellites because it's going to be expensive for them to launch up into space. And so less satellites higher up, so slower internet speed, but less satellites overall. That's where they're going to have like 800-ish or something like that. Starlink is going to have much more satellites, 4,000 satellites, much closer all over the place, partly because Starlink is SpaceX, Elon Musk owns Starlink, and Starlink is a part of SpaceX, which actually is designing and building rockets. So therefore, it's its own company sending the satellites up to orbit. OneWeb has to hire rockets that are actually in like Ukraine and like Russia and like all over the world, that they'll pay them like $1 million or $2 million or whatever it costs to send the rocket up using their rockets, where SpaceX literally designs and builds their own rockets, so they just send it up themselves. So it's pretty cool. So SpaceX can obviously launch many more satellites than OneWeb can. So different strategies, but I think it's both going to be awesome. Now, of course, let's talk about the cons. No, let's talk about the pros. The pros. This is going to be 5G. This is going to be super fast internet, which is awesome. Especially Starlink, which is going to be closer. But OneWeb will also be very fast internet. And it will cover internet around the world. And that is super significant. So literally, the entire continent of Africa, for example, where there's a lot of internet all throughout it with cell towers and Ethernet cables, but then with a few satellites, boom, the entire continent, all of it, even the deserts and everywhere in between, the rural areas, all have internet instantly, which is going to be huge because that means everyone with their phones can get on the internet. This also means that AT&T and T-Mobile, since you'll have internet in your home via satellite, but potentially you'll also have internet, the satellite coming onto your phone maybe in the future, you could maybe get rid of AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile and all that stuff eventually too, and just use the satellites all the time no matter where you are, which I think would be really cool. Now, we're not there yet. The technology is just for in-home and like location-based, so it's not mobile yet, but the sky's the limit. So everywhere in the world will have internet. Siberia, China, Africa, Latin America, rural America, everywhere in between will have internet, which is going to be huge and significant. So that is the positive, and that's the one thing. Now, that also means that Facebook being the tried and true example of this, if you charge everyone a little bit, but you have massive amounts of people, you make a ton of money. So you can sell like a luxury product to a few people and make good money, or you can sell a cheap product to a massive amount of people. Cheap, I mean like inexpensive. And that's what they can do with the internet, the satellite internet. They can just millions and millions and millions of users will be on instantaneously once all the satellites alive and ready to go. So that's pretty cool. OneWeb is actually going to start with selling to like airplanes and cruise ships, which have a tough time getting internet right. Now they'll all have Wi-Fi and internet through the satellites. And OneWeb is also going to do a lot of stuff in Africa and other countries to get them online. SpaceX and Elon Musk for the Starlink is going to focus actually on the high end first. So he's going to start on the U.S. market, luxury market, and actually he's going to say his internet he's saying is so fast that it'll be faster than what we have now, which means that actually Wall Street will be one of his clients because Wall Street's trading at milliseconds right now. It's all computer trading. Like people trading saying, hey, I'll buy it for 10 and you buy it for 7 is gone kind of right now. It's all digital computers trading back and forth milliseconds at a time. And so literally the faster you can trade, the more money you can make. So they'll pay a top dollar, premium dollar for this. So that's it. That's the positives. So it's going to be awesome. The negatives, let's talk about the negatives. The negatives are going to be that, you know, when everyone heard about like satellite internet everywhere, you thought of Terminator, of course, and having one giant system that controls everything as one internet that controls the entire world. Yeah, sure. It's me scary. But actually, I don't think it's going to be that scary because I don't go down that path because actually I'm very excited about it is actually Starlink's not going to be the only satellite companies. OneWeb and Amazon will also have. So we're actually starting off with 3 competitors, which is pretty sweet, actually. Not many technologies start off with that many competitors right away. It's usually one guy that like forges ahead, and then like 2 or 3 other ones jump on like later in the cycle. But we're starting off with 3, so actually you're going to have some good competition, and that leads me actually to the other one, which is internet everywhere. And hopefully one of those guys will have a less restrictive internet. Like right now, we do not have internet neutrality in America, which is not great. We want that. But China even more so has less internet neutrality. They have even less freedom in internet, and Russia is also trying to contain their internet and have their own separate internet. We can talk about that in another video. But satellite internet could mean that no matter where you are in the world, you could possibly get, hopefully, freer internet than you currently have, which I think could be really cool. So, Elon Musk, if you're listening, do net neutrality on your internet system and satellites. OneWeb, if you're listening, net neutrality on your internets. And Amazon, Jeff Bezos, do it as well, because that would be super cool. So that's satellite internet, and I'm super stoked for it. SpaceX has launched 3 rockets already with satellites in them. So I think, and there's 60 rockets, 60 satellites per rocket. So I think we're up to like 150, 180. It's not exactly 60 times 3 because the first one had some test ones and some duds, and but they kind of figured it out. If the second one had 60, 120, the third one. So I think they're like 100, 150 or something like that. OneWeb just launched like a week ago for their satellite. I think that's their second launch, and I think they had like 30 or 40 satellites in there less. But that's super cool. So they're up and running. And so they have satellites over the Earth right now. My trusty globe. They have satellites over the globe right now, but it's not live yet. SpaceX and Tesla and SpaceX and Starlink will probably be the first to go live. Though I think they're going to go live, if I heard, late 2020 or 2021. So we're about a year away. And OneWeb will probably go live, soon after that. So very exciting stuff, and we're getting to it. So that's satellite internet, satellites all over the globe, which would be super cool to have internet there. One other negative, which I definitely want to talk about. There's going to be a lot of satellites in the sky now. Now I would love to see a graphic of like how big these satellites look compared to the Earth, because obviously they're not even the size of my pinky nail, because that would be like gigantic satellite. The International Space Station is nowhere close to the size of my pinky nail, with this globe being scale, right? So they're probably like super tiny, like the end of a ball, like a pin. But I would love to see someone even as small as that prick B, like pinprick B. Love to see how many satellites are there, because there's already a ton of stuff out there. There's space junk, there's satellites, there's International Space Station. It's all flying through around the globe. So there's going to be a lot. And so astronauts are worried that all these satellites are going to disrupt the sound waves coming from outer space, and also visually, like looking out into space. So Elon Musk actually promised they were white, which is really funny, at the bottom of their satellites. And he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, because that reflects the Earth, reflects the light. So he's going to paint them all black." So he's going to do some things to kind of make sure that they're not going to obstruct the vision. Because obviously, Elon Musk is a huge fan of space and satellite. And telescopes and astronomers. He's a huge fan. So you got to know that he's going to want to help them out a little bit, best he can. So there's going to be a lot, but I don't think there's going to be like more than like it's ever going to cover up the sky. Like it's just they're so tiny compared to the Earth. So I would love to see a graphic where I can like zoom in and like see where like the International Space Station is and how big that is compared to the Earth and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so if anyone has that, let me know right in the comments below. What are the things that you're excited about for satellite internet? What's like going to be really cool about it, and what are you afraid is going to happen with it? So positives and negatives, let me know. Write that in the comments below. Hit the subscribe, totally helps the algorithm. Hit the bell if you want to keep following as videos get posted, and hit that thumbs up button. And Blake, until next time.